Well, hello and welcome to another video. Today we have a pretty special video where a few friends of mine and I got together for an in-person meetup where we played Age of Empires for a weekend in essentially a LAN party. That would be Too Hot to Drush in red here and Neebs in teal, and then I'm in green. TadBorowski joined us for this game. He was not able to come to the LAN party, but Neebs was actually able to reach out to the one and only DAUT. So DAUT actually joined us for this game, and it was a lot of fun. I figured I would showcase it for you. We're starting with a little bit of banter here. Neebs saying, "Don't know what Too High said he's going, but he's always tower rushes. Don't believe anything else." And Too High, recognizing that no, we never tower rush, says no. And DAUT jumps in and says, "Well, we should tower rush them now." Just a little banter there. Neebs is the Japanese, and I am the Burgundians, and Tad is the Goths, and we're all playing on a team together against Too High in red as the Bengalis, and DAUT as the Lithuanians. So we'll speed up a little bit till we get to some of the action here. I'll just, well, I was going to try to show some of the scouting, but anyways, DAUT is the Lithuanians, and we're thinking he's probably going to try to go for relics. Tad has already scouted him and let us know where he's going. Too High is telling DAUT, "I'm going to go Monk Siege," and then DAUT says he'll go Light Cav, so they're all set for their plan. We haven't officially stated our plans yet, but we're going to try to contest the relics to keep DAUT from getting all of them. Lithuanians get a bonus on their cavalry where they get +1 attack per relic, so up to 4. So if he gets 4 relics, then he gets the maximum benefit of that. So we're going to try to keep him from doing that. Already, in fact, Too High and DAUT are on their way to Feudal Age, and actually all of us are. So I mentioned DAUT is the Lithuanians, going to try to get relics. Neebs says he's going to build scouts in Feudal. And so one of you guys go aggressive with monks. I plan to go with monks. DAUT is already on his way up to Castle Age and getting the lumber upgrade and everything. He's already got like a perfect economy for what he needed to do. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I could do some scouts as well to try to prevent DAUT from getting the monks. But and now Too High is on his way up to Castle Age. So pretty good Castle Age time from Too High there. Going to be on par with DAUT. And before me, which I guess is the first on our team, I did mention I'm making a stable, but Neebs told me not to because he's going to be doing that, and so I deleted it. Now, Tad is on his way up to Castle Age as well. And Neebs is still holding back in Feudal because he plans to make those scouts. So, already seeing multiple scouts on the field from DAUT. You have a few out there from Neebs as well. 3, in fact, from Neebs. So DAUT's going to come over here and 2v1 one of Neebs' scouts. Neebs is on his way up to Castle Age now as well. DAUT has already got a monk headed out with for his first relic. There's another dead Neebs scout. So far, DAUT is getting the best of the scout war and is already out there headed for his first relic. Neebs is guarding that relic though, so DAUT actually notices that and pulls back the monk, so he's going to know not to go after that relic. Maybe he's going to come out here for this one. or maybe distract these scouts. Yeah, probably gonna distract those scouts, and then maybe heal up these and reuse them. So that's another thing that I'd say we at our elo never do. We don't really hold back and heal up our scouts and go out for another fight. We also rarely make more than one monk. Um, but anyways, I'm building 3 TCs. Tad has the second one up already. Too High he's got monks and a couple of mangonel that he's on his way out with. So Neebs has to retreat from that relic. Maybe he's gonna try to go sneak to try to get that monk. Yep, he's gonna try to go get that monk, and I think he's gonna do it. So good play there. He's gonna lose 2 scouts for it, but he killed 2 monks. So one thing about playing with Tad is that he always builds outposts, and honestly, I'm always grateful for it too. I got a couple of Flemish militia out here to try to help out with a few of these scouts. Too High is on his way out with the next with his monk siege push, which he had mentioned he was going to do. DAUT has 5 scouts out here. Neebs has just 1 over here. In fact, 1 overall. DAUT has 6 overall. Tad is out trying to get a relic as well. Too High is guarding it and probably gonna make him pay for it. Nope. Okay, so Too High's scout was probably on no attack stance, so did not manage to actually stop that. But check out his army cutting right through the perfect spot between the outposts, so we didn't see that until the last possible second. I signal it right away. Tad says shit because okay, that's a lot of army coming his way. He's got another mangonel coming out over here. Neebs says he's going to try to boom. He's actually going 4 TCs. Tad is going to try to get this castle up. I think Too High just can't quite reach these villagers with the mangonel. So he could convert some of these villagers. Like half of these villagers could get converted and then start fighting the other half. That would be annoying. But he's going to try to go around to the front, seeing that that castle's most likely going to go up. Meanwhile, DAUT is going out for his 3rd relic. So, you know, that escalated quickly. We were fighting over the first one, and then now he's going in for the 3rd. There's actually... DAUT's trying to let Too High micro this spearman, but wasn't happening, so he just went in for the kill there. Now Too High's going to try to make the push on the front here, away from the castle. I think I just signaled that I plan to mass an army here, or maybe I'm signaling these units. Tad's going to try to sneak this relic around. DAUT sees it, sends 2 scouts out after it. So, good play by DAUT. Would expect nothing less. There's actually still a relic over here by DAUT's base that we haven't gotten, but he's already 3 relics deep here. Tad's lost his barracks, so now he's getting pushed on the front here. I'm telling him that I'm planning to bring some scouts, which I'm making a couple of barracks and getting upgrades and making some units. Okay, so that gate went down pretty fast. Too High is actually going to go out and try to grab a relic. Now Tad is going to build another castle, so he must have... yeah, he bought a bunch of stone to try to get that 2nd castle up. Too High's making him pay for it, losing several villagers here. He's able to get close enough here to be able to range the villagers trying to make it. Tad's only got one relic in here, but Two Eye's gonna try to make him pay for that, or to kill it. I'm massing the units back here, and Tad is forcing the castle up, and Two Eye didn't notice for a while, so was able to get a little bit of free building here. But now I've come in with the scouts, gonna clear up the mangonels and monks. And Tad got the castle up as well, which also took out several mangonels. Okay, well, there's still a fair amount of mangonels here, but they will get cleared up eventually. So that push is going to be dead, so good job on Tad's part to buy the castles and protect himself from that push. And now the rest of this will die. So I think I just signaled that he's got a scout here. Neebs still going out for the scouts. I'm actually coming in for this relic all the way on the other side. I did manage to get 3. See, I thought I did a good job of getting some relics, but DAUT's already got the 4, and he's already given up. He's like, well, I got the 4 I need. So, actually, he's going in for a 5th, too. So, one thing that becomes a theme in this game is DAUT making castles. And look at this, Two High and DAUT are both already on their way up to Imperial Age. So they're going to be able to have a greater variety of units, stronger units, and just look at the economy that DAUT has here. He's got 4 town centers, he's got 120 villagers, he's on his way up to Imperial Age at 29 minutes. On the other side, Neebs has 93 because he got the 4th town center up. I've only got 63 because I was helping Tad out to clear this, and Tad's got 65. Also going 3 town centers. Two High doesn't have as many, 50, because he was focusing on that push. He built a lot of military, but he's building a 3rd town center now. So, I think there was a militia that I had accidentally created that just showed up to the fight, and so I mentioned that. Oh, freaking militia! Where'd he come from? Alright, so DAUT has gotten to the Imperial Age, and so now he's getting chemistry, he's getting stone shaft mining, so that's another thing that we never really do. We don't, I don't really ever get the mining upgrades at all, let alone the Imperial Age versions of them. But he's taken this stone fast. He's already built 2 castles. His play is going to be Latus. There's my scouts, my poor light cav actually up against the Latus, and wow, that didn't go very well. So Neebs is starting to build some production buildings on the front here. DAUT is massing the Latus. He's already got elite Latus, in fact. Building his 3rd castle, he's making siege workshops, and bombard cannons are starting to flow out. So this is going to be bombards and Latus from DAUT. And it looks like it's going to be directed at Neebs. So Neebs just got to Imperial Age. He's starting to mass the pikemen. He's gonna need to, he's got the Halb upgrade coming. Tad's doing some upgrades. I'm on my way to Imp. Now we don't see, all we see is this castle. We don't see all the rest of this yet. So, that's all gonna be a surprise for us here in just a second. Although we could see it just a little bit right there if we noticed. But anyways, now it's coming. Neebs has 20 Halbs, DAUT has 13 Latus, and bombards on the way. Too High's got some archery ranges, so he's probably thinking elephant archers. The fight is about to get started over here on Neebs' base, and I think Neebs think this is a fight he wants to take because it's Halbs. He's got more Halbs than DAUT has Latis. Actually, that's not true. It's about 1-to-1. But DAUT is actually trying to micro the Halbs with the bombards. And sometimes he does land some decent hits there. But honestly, even this straight up fight, the Halbs got destroyed. So, yeah, DAUT lost maybe half of his latest, but now Neebs doesn't have any army. So, DAUT's going to go right ahead, kill this Treb, which I'm not sure why it was there, but it probably was part of an attempted push that he was going to start. Now he's immediately going for the production buildings. So now Neebs doesn't have any barracks. He's got some in the back, trying to make a few more here. So DAUT's going right for the jugular. He's not messing around. He's like, well, we've started the fight, so let's go. So now he's got 7 bombard cannons here, taking out this castle. The latest killing these villagers, trying to make new barracks, and this is just absolutely rough for Neebs. I'm trying to mass an army over here of Flemish militia and pikemen of my own. Yeah, they are in fact pikemen. I haven't gotten the Halb upgrade yet. I have a few light cav in here as well. I thought maybe this could come and swoop some bombards, but now Too High shows up with the elephant archers. So that ends up eating up all the army that I had sent and was gathering here to mass for a big kind of push from the side. So good job on Too High's part to have army there and keep me from being able to mass. So see, I'm just going to be streaming into the fight for a while now, which is not going to be very helpful. Neebs is wisely running some villagers because he recognizes this isn't going to go very well and it's going to be very fast too. So, sending a few villagers out into the middle so that he will at least have an escape. I told him that I'm trying to mass my units. I actually told Tad to kill Too High, and here it comes. Tad's got 2 petards and a bunch of infantry, and he's going to start a fight on Too High, while Neebs' base is getting wrecked, and my attempts to help are futile. Neebs once again losing his base fast. He is not able to build barracks and halbs fast enough to take care of the latest, and the bombards are just wrecking everything he has spent his whole game building. Too High sort of guarding the front entrance from where my army was trying to come in and help out. Like, hey, I've got a few halbs here. They are halbs now. And not able to do anything with it. I did try to swoop in here. Oh, but here comes the fight in on Too High's base. And I think he noticed it. Yeah, he noticed it. But this is classic Tad. This is why we call him the Goth Bomber. He will petard into your base when you don't expect it, and all of a sudden everything you had is lost. And that's what Too High's facing. Meanwhile, he's got 15 elephant archers here in the front. DAUT has already cleared out Neebs' base of all villagers and military. So he's in there just eating up all these buildings. Meanwhile, Too High is getting absolutely wrecked by Tad. So this move actually was really important because it did at least establish that we weren't going to get completely rolled. Because we were getting rolled over here. It was Neebs versus Too High and DAUT, and my army was not really helping much. I'm trying to mass out here, some here, and prepare for what's coming my way. But I'm not gonna have a lot of time before it does come my way, because here come the latest. The bombards are still out. They're just wanting to make sure that all the military production buildings are gone, and then he'll bring those out. DAUT comes in to try to clear up some of Tad's army here and help Too High out a bit. So here's a fight: 33 Latus versus a bunch of Halbs, and DAUT lost 2 Latus through that whole fight. Tad's got champions. Those aren't going to do well against the Latus. The Latus are going to come in and clear up what Tad has brought in. So from this point, while they're massing another fight over here, let's take a look. Neebs is at 25 villagers, Too High's at 31. So we've at least taken out one person on each side, roughly to the same degree. Although Too High is still in his base. He did expand outside a little bit. Neebs did as well. Unfortunately, I just lost a big army to the elephant archers and the Latus, so I don't have much more waiting for when this attack is going to come my way. That was bad luck, maybe poor strategy on my part having that army so far out, and it just sort of engaged by itself, and we lost it all. I'm trying to pull back to the castle, fight under that maybe. So I do kill a few Latus here, but not enough. So actually I killed like 6 Latus out of the 21 that came. And now Too High's just going to fight under the castle with these elephant archers. I did bring skirms for those, but honestly I don't think skirms do all that well. And the Latus are going to just clean up the skirms, and the bombards are taking out everything that I've built. Oh, okay, so Too High must have noticed these petards and signaled them for DAUT. So Tad is prepping an attack on DAUT's base, while I'm getting wrecked on the front here. These are all my production buildings. I don't have any in the back like Too High did. There's the petards in for Tad on DAUT's base, and he's just going to go in and eat up a whole bunch of villagers for a while. And then Neebs mentions, please kill the monastery. DAUT is asking Too High if he needs any resources. DAUT sent him 796 gold. Neebs' base is absolutely cleared. They're about to go inside of my base, but Tad's army is inside of DAUT's base and killing. He killed the monastery, so now the 5 relics are out. You no longer have the bonus from the cav for DAUT, and Tad's gonna start killing villagers, and DAUT still hasn't noticed. So kind of a moment where he seems human, because this is something that happens to all of us on Arena from time to time. The enemy gets in your base and you don't notice, and now DAUT notices, and he garrisons the TCs, and the TCs should be enough to clear this. Tad's now having to send some halbs up to my base because I'm about to get wrecked. This is 40 Latus and 5 bombards, and I've got nothing. I built these 3 barracks to try to make a few halbs to stop this pain, but it's not gonna help. These halbs should take out the elephant archers if they fight. There we go. So Too High's gonna lose those elephant archers, which he's had from the start of the game, and then these halbs will be in position to. DAUT's fighting them with the bombard. Then these halbs will be in position to fight the Latus. I've already lost 1 TC, losing all my wood villagers. This is actually fairly important because I was trying to save some villagers, and so yeah, DAUT can't see that I've got those villagers back there. I actually have 3 over here as well, very close to getting hit because Neebs' eco is getting hit there. His reboomed eco. But yeah, those 3 villagers are hiding back behind that those trees because my entire base is wrecked. I'm not going to be able to do anything for a while. Too High can slowly recover. He's still making elephant archers. He's got most of his eco over here, actually. And DAUT is building a town center in Neebs' former base. And check this out. DAUT is just building castle after castle. He sees a resource on the map, he builds a castle on it, and takes that resource. And then, so at this point, he's got 6 castles. And it makes a lot of sense since he's going for the latest, which he makes out of his castle. Now Tad is coming in here to fight the latest. This is going to be a fight that DAUT will lose. But I think so anyways. He's trying to micro with the bombards. Got a decent splash in there on them. But yeah, the blue Goth army is going to take over and finish off these units, freeing my base and allowing me to rebuild. So I've got 6 villagers. Neebs has 35, Too High at 34, Tad hasn't been hit at 125, and DAUT is at 119. So we're at somewhat of a stalemate now. Neebs and I have both been thoroughly wrecked. Neebs' new eco is mainly over here. Tad has been safe since that initial pressure from Too High and DAUT at the start. And look at all these barracks. He has 40 barracks. So he's prepped to make army fast. So that's one thing he does well. Now I think DAUT and Too High have to reload here a little bit. There's the next DAUT army. 36 latest. I'm letting my team know I'm thoroughly wrecked. And Neebs is letting Tad know he's our only hope. Waiting for the next fight here. DAUT is trying to keep these latest alive. He's got more over here, actually. He's got 78 latest right now and 4 in the queue. So he could take a fight pretty much anywhere if he wanted, although this isn't going to be a very cost-efficient one with so many halbs in here. But he's bringing them all over and trying to fight before Tad can mass up. But I think killing the elephant archers from Too High was a really good play because they were pretty good against the halbs. And so DAUT may be trying to wait for these elephant archers to come over, but Tad has actually already killed a whole bunch of them. And it's got halbs trailing these as well. So the fight is in Tad's production area. Neebs is coming in with a few halbs of his own, about 25 to 30 of them. Gonna at least have the fight go from 2 different sides here. He's gonna engage with the elephant archers. Gonna do pretty well against them, considering those are a gold unit from Too High. Tad is able to push back the latest and free up his production buildings again. In fact, he's still making more production buildings. This is actually a fight that's going pretty well for the blue and teal team here. DAUT has lost a lot of his latest. He's down to 34, which is about half as many as he had a minute ago. And Too High lost that round of elephant archers and is losing a good amount of these as well on their way out from his own base. So we're able to breathe for a little bit and regroup. I did get at least 1 town center up, no, 2 town centers up to 7 villagers. I don't even have the food to make villagers at this point, so it's going to take me a while to get back into the game. DAUT actually built a castle on my production buildings, which was annoying me because even if I wanted to produce military, it was just not going to happen. I think DAUT's trying to get these relics, but it's getting a little denied because he can't walk into my base. I'm actually making a siege workshop because I actually can afford a bombard cannon, so I could bombard this tower from inside my own walls. Tad mixing in some Huskarls, elite Huskarls, that are going to finish off these elephant archers, and while also taking out this castle just with infantry. So rather than wait for my bombard, which I promise is coming, he's just going to take it out with infantry in typical Goth style, especially Tad Goth style. He's like, it's fine, mine are cheap, I'll just make more. Plus his eco hasn't been hit yet, so he can afford to do that to some degree. That's another army of Latus here, 51 Latus, 66 total on the field. See that micro? DAUT just microed down these halbs with the bombard cannons. So at least I have my base secured again, so that it looks like these villagers tried to come into my base to take my resources. In fact, yes, that's the mining camp DAUT had made. So plugging my hole was at least kept me from getting raided again, kept my resources from getting stolen, and allowed me a chance to reboom in safety. Meanwhile, the fight is over here on the front. DAUT is still trying to micro with the bombards onto the halbs. So it's always hard to do, but he actually does a decent job of it, managing to keep these bombards alive for so long. But he's going to lose all of his Latus for it. This is up into Neebs' eco. He's up to 72 villagers, so he's almost back to full steam. Too High is at 49, and I'm still down there at 15. Another batch of Latus coming in over here. This one coming in for some raids. That's one thing about the Latus, although unfortunately they're just attacking a farm, so they're not actually getting much value there, but they can run so much faster than the halbs, so the halbs will chase them all over the map. As long as they stay ahead of the game, or ahead of them, they can get a lot of damage. He's looking over here just to see what kind of damage he can get. He's not going to see much. In fact, there's not any army over here from Tad. So I think at this point, DAUT and Too High are going to have to think of some other strategy, because our team has gone full halberdier. Too High is going for Scout Cav. So I'm not sure if Bengali don't get like Cav, but he's at least going to bring some army over here to try to get some raids. Unfortunately, that army dies pretty efficiently to halbs, so which is the units that we're going. But he is going to get in here. Neebs sees it right away, and garrisons his TC, so he's going to minimize the losses here. So not really much else going on, so we'll watch this fight here. So the halbs come in and start to clear this up. Neebs does lose a few villagers, but not that much. These are just Scout Cav, which they'll also die to the TCs fairly easy, so that raid is over, and Neebs has actually got more villagers than he started with, because he's been making the villagers the whole time. So here's the response. DAUT is making archery ranges, and look how many villagers he's using to make these archery ranges. Well, I can't. He's got 11 villagers out here making 17 archery ranges and a castle. So he's already prepping the switch to hand cannons. He's like, we need something to kill these halbs. Hand cannons are a good answer for that, although you're gonna have to mass a bunch of them to be able to really take that fight. So 17 archery ranges. These are actually Tad's barracks that he's building out in the middle here. So that's kind of annoying for the red and yellow team, because now Tad's army comes from multiple directions. They don't have like a clean place to send army from, so And Tad's already engaging with the hand cannons. This is not a good fight on paper for him, but he says, well, my units are cheap. Yours cost a lot of gold, so yeah, I'll lose my army, but you're going to lose maybe 10-15% of yours with each wave, so he's happy to do that. Neebs has an army of Halbs himself. He's got more than 60. And DAUT has 45 hand cannons at this point, so 45 hand cannons versus 60 some odd halberdiers. As you can see, we are slowly losing the hand cannons. We're also losing the halberdiers, fighting under a castle and in the midst of hand cannons. But it's turning out to be a somewhat decent fight because it's whittling down the hand cannon numbers. So DAUT's already lost about half of his hand cannons that he was building. The latest are coming over here and dying to more halbs. So we're actually turning around the fights and starting to win them. I'm bringing some bombards out I actually did kill this TC with a bombard too. Forgot about that. But I'm bringing these bombards out to start another attack over here. Unfortunately, I don't have any army that's protecting it. But the protection is mainly from the distraction from this side. So Two High's going skirms now. Elite skirms, which do pretty good against the halbs. But the problem is they have a minimum range. They can't shoot the halb right in front of them. Meanwhile, I'm going to start slowly pecking away at these castles from the other side. I'm up to 35 villagers and have a third TC now, so at least starting to get a roll on my eco again. Neebs just crossed 100 villagers, so he's fully back into it. With the Japanese halbs contributing here. He's actually got some skirmishers as well to help out against the hand cannons. Bringing some army over here. I told them that I'm trying to do some hussar. I figure that's the most decent unit I could go, seeing as they're going full halbs. Bombard's coming in here to start taking out some of the production buildings. DAUT's not able to produce out of these anymore because they're fully surrounded by army and getting slowly taken out by the bombards. Elephant archers walking across the map from here. Meanwhile, I think there was another raid that Tad got in on Too High, and DAUT had to come in and help again. Castle's down, thanks to the bombards and all the army from Tad. And we're fully denying these archery ranges, so no more hand cannons will be produced. DAUT using the market. He got hoardings, which is, I believe that's to make his castles stronger. So they last longer to the bombards. So at this point, we don't realize that we've won, but we really have turned this around. So DAUT and Too High still have the score lead, but we've pushed back across the map. Now we have probably half the map back, and the units that DAUT and Too High were going are just getting slaughtered. They can't keep up. They don't have enough units, and I think at this point, and I tell Too High tell Tad maybe to bomb Too High again. I think I didn't realize that he just was in there, but back to the fight on the front. This is probably going to be the last fight. We're talking about markets because we're running out of gold. DAUT has essentially eaten all of our golds. So he's trying to make archery ranges again, siege workshops, make bombards and hand cannons to go along with the remaining latest that he has, but it's all just getting gobbled up. Managed to keep the bombards alive. Now we're pushing forward directly at DAUT's area. Tad's prepping the petards to go in on too high again. We're even starting to build markets, thinking about trade. We've just completely taken out all of the buildings that were built back here just a short while ago. By the way, DAUT did rebuild his monastery and get those relics again to get that bonus. He's having trouble taking a good fight against all the halbs, and so Too High says, "Sorry, DAUT," and he said, "It was fun. Frickin' Goths." And then there goes the GG. DAUT says GG. And we still are not in the score lead, but yeah, we thoroughly turned this around, and I don't think there's a way for them to come back. So good game all around. It was a pleasure to play with DAUT. And I think I actually did learn a little bit. First of all, look at all the TCs he's got here. He's got 5 TCs back here. He got a great boom, a good imp time, and then just made so many castles. Make castles, and then take the resources underneath it, and then just keep moving forward with those. And those are your production buildings too when you're going your unique unit, which he was. He also had enough bombards to where he could make a really solid push, and then had a little help from Too High with the elephant archers. But ultimately, they had left Tad alone, and Tad made them pay for it by getting the good hit in on Too High's base. That forced some of DAUT's army to come over here, which meant that although they did wreck Neebs, they had to wait for a second before coming and wrecking me, because they needed to go clear Too High's base. They did end up fully wrecking me. I'm only up to 62 villagers here at the end, so I didn't even really get a full recovery. But we were able to slow and stall the push because Too High had gotten wrecked, and Neebs was able to recover, escape villagers, and build new eco on the other side of the map and make full halbs, along with Tad's full halbs that just absolutely finally took care of the latest after so long. Tad did get the bomb in on DAUT, was able to take his monastery out for a little while there, and even get some free villager kills before DAUT noticed and garrisoned the TCs. So, really good game. Got our asses really thoroughly cleaned out by DAUT a few times, but then eventually came back. So that was fun in the end. Look at the KD from DAUT, 1800 to 600. So he's got a 3-to-1 KD almost. Tad's got a Goth KD. I've actually got an even worse one, and so does Neebs. But it ultimately was 3-to-2, so we were going to be able to mass more army overall. Neebs and Tad end up with more than 100 army there at one point each, which was just too much. Was gonna overwhelm anything that they were making. DAUT had 100 army there for a while, and that was probably, I know he had 70 latest at one point, and then some bombards. So economy, DAUT, in the lead here. Tad actually has not too far below DAUT here. DAUT also sent 13,000 gold, got 8,000 relic gold, and collected by far the most gold, 32,000 gold that he collected, 6,500 stone he collected. So like I said, everywhere on the map he built a castle and took the res underneath it. He even got the upgrades that make you collect that faster, something that I don't know if I've ever done. So he really outproduced on all of the resources that matter, and turned it into strong military. He also had good castle time and the first imp time as well. Um, we weren't too far behind in either regards, but he was able to get the jump on the push there. 143 villager high, that's what he had. So he overboomed there for a while, then probably deleted some villagers and then turned it into army. And I never got a good boom because I was helping out Tad at the beginning, and then I got wrecked myself, and never really fully recovered. Anyway, it was a really good game. I was really happy to play with DAUT. It was honestly an honor, something we wanted to remember. That's why we're recording it. Um, we actually did play another game on Arabia right after this, because after this game, DAUT's like, yeah, let's go again. So we're like, sure. Tad had to call it a night because it was probably one in the morning our time, which was like 6 or 7 a.m. DAUT's time. So it was an all nighter for him. But really glad he was able to play.